I'm John with G.R.O Outdoors out in the G.R.O education plot out in Columbus, Wisconsin area. And what you got before me is I got a bag where we measured down cowpeas. We got 30 blocks of forages out here. We got alfalfas, clovers, different types of forage soybeans, different types of pod beans. What you might be able to see here, if Cody can take and shoot a little videos, we got some rope down here, got some rope on the other side. We actually got 10-foot blocks, 100 feet long. We're going to actually break them down in half. We got conventional fertilizers across each block. Then what we're going to do is about 30 days after planting, we're going to take and go out here and we'll spray plant foods on half the blocks, other half the blocks we won't. We'll be also doing forage testing. We're going to be clipping every 30 days. We'll be also measuring growth. We'll also be showing you guys the use of a refractometer, measuring sugar content. Deer got a sweet tooth. Sugars. Anytime you have plants with more sugars, the deer tend to eat it more. So how are we doing this? We're not using a fancy drill. We're trying to show you guys how to do things like the average guy. Plus it's also next to impossible to measure down using the drills and no-till equipment to do such small blocks. So I'm using a little bag seeder, okay? And then we also got here, you guys can see it's an Earthway. This is my favorite kind. They hardly ever wear out. I use them all the time. You can buy them for $35, $40. So again, the Earthway spreaders, if anybody ever asks, hey, what should you buy? These are the guys. So what we're gonna do again is we're gonna dump in the pre-measured for that, 10-foot by 100-foot block, 1,000 square feet. We're dumping the seed in there. We're hand stirring it. And I'm going to start on the end so you guys aren't going to see me for a second. And what we're doing is, because I've done this so much, we're spreading it here. You can see the seed going. And I'm going to stop right there just so I don't lose track of where I left. But so basically we're going to go down and back. That's another tip. For so many of you guys, whether you're pulling a broadcast seeder or if you got a little hand crank seeder, don't just go across once. Go down and back, or down and crisscross. That way you're evening out your distribution pattern. The other thing that I don't know if I remember to mention, we got fertilizer down in there. We're not using a lot. We're using usually about 2 parts fertilizer, 1 part seed, just enough to bulk it up. And I like using straight potassium or like a 9028 where I can see the red particles from the potassium. I can see how wide my pattern is. That's another little tip for you. And then again, it's preventing us from seeding too heavy. So again, we got our nice little blocks. We got 30 strips that we're doing this. We'll have our open houses June 10th, education event. Anybody wants to tour, whether it be groups or other people, you reach out to us. We can give you personal tours. We're providing data. G.R.O Outdoors, we're an education company, not a seed slinging company. Most companies want to sell a lot of seed. They want to throw it on the shelf. They want you to buy it. I don't want you guys to buy seed from G.R.O's unless you really understand our products, the right fertilizer you use, and we want you to not just plant our seed. We want you to plant our seed, plant the right way, use the right fertilizers for your ground, plant the right blends for your ground. That's why you can get a hold of us via email. That's why you can call us. We also have our plot scout program, which I can go out to your properties and I can actually look and help you determine where to plant the different mixes. Another thing is, and maybe you guys will all see this too, soil tests tell you part of the story. And maybe with all my education down the line, you guys can learn some by what healthy soil looks like. But here, when I'm out in properties, I a lot of times will change my recommendations based on what I'm, not just what the soil test says, but what I see. And so what I got here is this is ground that was mainly corn soy rotation up until a year ago when I got access to use this as an education plot. Nice black ground. Another thing that we did here, we didn't overwork the ground. Rick was out here earlier running around my plot master. We were only working the ground about 3 inches, maybe 2-3 inches, and you can see it's nice and smooth. We don't have loose soil, so when I'm broadcasting the seed, especially on the clovers and that, all we have to do is drag and roll it. It's not too deep, it's good to go. These beans, bigger seed, we'll go over it slow, really slow with those discs so we're not nexting the seed. We're gonna get it down to about 1 inch deep in the ground and we'll roll it in the ground. For those of you guys that can't afford a drill, you can disc seed it. We've showed you guys that out here last year. But again, it isn't necessarily what you're doing this year, you also got to think about next year. Healthy soil this year, if you burn it up, you don't put enough back into it, if you overwork it, and you don't have good healthy soil particles, good healthy soil structure and texture, which is something you guys will hear me talk about more in the future. We don't want to be worked in the ground where it's all clumpy and cloddy. We've had some challenges because of the weather here, but yet I'm really happy. I think I'm going to hire Rick to do this full time for me. I mean, maybe he's in the wrong job, but I really like the way this ground is conditioned before planting. That's something else for you guys to think about. So again, just a few little things I wanted to show you guys on how we're doing it before you start seeing the growth. And I think this is a great learning tool for everybody out here across the United States. No matter if you're down south or north, the concepts are the same. A lot of the species that we're planting, you can plant anywhere in the U.S. So again, that's where I want you guys to at least look at us, look at our videos, and consider G.R.O, because even if things aren't perfect, we'll be able to help you out. Even if you bought our seed and things aren't looking great, send us pictures, give us a call, we'll be able to get you back on track. We don't just want to have a one-time sale with you guys. We're looking to work with you guys long term. So that's why we're trying to experiment here, we're trying to teach here, we're trying to show you how to do better. A few words of the day from John out here with G.R.O Outdoors.